And see, that's the man-child's mentality. Because they might dick you down and give you a kiss and smile in your face and give you some attention, they feel like that's enough. Because what is he offering you really? The fact that he gives you a conversation? I mean, I don't know. You can have that with Alexa or Siri on your phone. It's not really that special. What is up, guys? Sophia here, and I'm back with another video. And today we are going to be talking about the infamous man-child, y'all. I know y'all might not know what it is, but I promise you, even if you don't know the word, y'all have probably encountered, dated, been with a man-child. But before we get into the video, if you are new to my channel or if you have been watching my videos but you are not yet a subscriber, then go ahead and do that and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated on all my videos. Now let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? All right, let's talk about the man-child, y'all. And I will also link my blog down in the description box where I have like this long monologue basically about what a man-child is. A man-child is obviously a grown behind man that don't know he a grown behind man, and instead he wants to act like a child. And I'm just gonna tell y'all a story of a guy that I dated way back when that was a man-child. One of many, unfortunately. But during the time him and I lived together, he had lost his job, he had wrecked his car, so he didn't have no car, he didn't have a job. I was working 12 to 16 hours a day at the time as a juvenile correctional officer. I paid the bills, I did everything. He stayed home all day, and then when I came home, it was like, oh, you know, I've been gone 12 to 16 hours. You need to provide for me. You need to wash the dishes. You need to do this. You need to do that. So it's basically like a man who takes on the persona that his woman is his mother. Where the man-child gets this all confused is that there is a relationship with your mother, like your real mom, and there's a relationship with your girlfriend. These things are two completely different things. Because I have a son and my love for my son is unconditional, point blank period. There's not anything that my son can do to make me not love him. But see, man-child likes to take on that unconditional love aspect and put it on their woman, because for real, I hate to be mean, but I'm being very real in the sense that when you get into a romantic relationship, a lot of the times that love is conditional, because a romantic relationship has to be two-sided. A mommy relationship, even from the time a child is born, is typically that a mom will give and give and give to the child and not expect anything and still love. But see, in a romantic relationship, that doesn't work. It has to be mutually beneficial. So how the man-child forms is typically from their relationship with their mother. Take, for example, the ex that I was talking about. His mother, when it came to him, she never taught him how to be a man. Instead, it's like, or to treat a woman. So for example, at the time when I was living with him, we still had like the roaming charges on the cell phone. And because I worked in the jail, I could not take my phone into the jail. And true to man-child form, he borrowed my phone when I was at work. And so he used to call everybody, run up all the charges. And then I would look at like this $400 cell phone bill. And I'm like, okay, but you need to find a way to like pay this. I'm already paying the rent and everything else. And then he was like, well, I talked to my mom and my mom said that I don't need to pay you. So typically the man-child situation stems from the mama. Now the mama could either enable their man-child or enable their sons and not teach them to be the typical manly man that we know, to protect your women, to provide, to step up to the plate. They will teach them to, oh, I'm your mother, and give them the idea that any woman that you get with needs to also take on my role. A man-child can also form by having a weird enmeshed relationship with his mother. So if you have ever dated a man where he puts his mom before you, or talks about his, or like if y'all are dating, then it's like you're in a relationship with him, his mama, and you. And it's always like, well, my mama said that I need to tell you, my mama said I need to treat you like this, my mama said I need to da 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 da. And so really, it's like the man isn't really thinking for himself. That's a man-child because his mother is telling him how to be in a relationship. Another way that the man-child can form is through a absentee mother or a bad mother. So if their mother had left out of their life, or even if the mother died, or they feel that in some way they did not have an adequate mother to provide them with the motherly love that they needed, then they will then grow up, find somebody like my mama. or to take the place of my mama, or to love me like my mama. Now, on the surface, it may seem like nothing is wrong with that. Like, oh, but he's just searching for his mom and I want to love him. So a man-child will feel like, okay, I should be able to sleep around on you, cheat on you, go out with my friends, not answer your phone calls when you need me to, not provide to the house, come home whenever I want to. And basically, I don't have to be accountable to anybody. And through all of my foolishness, because as with a child, they really don't give back to the mom. So it's like the man-child adapts all that mentality. Out of everything that I'm doing, you should still love me, sex me, cook for me, provide for me, and do everything for me because I am your man. And so this is where the dynamic comes from the ride or die chick. I also have a blog on the ride or die chick, which I'm actually going to link down also in the description box. But this whole concept of the ride or die chick is man-child written all over it. Because the ride or die chick says, okay, no matter if I lose my job, you should hold me down. No matter if I kill somebody and go to jail for 20 years, you should not want to leave and you should stay here and you should wait for me. No matter if I can't buy a car, you should co-sign for me. You should be able to ride or die through all of my foolishness and give all of yourself no matter what I do and still love me regardless. If the situations was reversed and you did everything that the man-child did, he would be gone in a heartbeat. But it's like they expect you to ride and die and make up for their inadequacies. So for example, I was in this one Facebook group where I had to unjoin because it was just stupid, but I was speaking to a man-child and this fool had to be like 40s to his 50s. So they come in all ages, y'all. And he was like, and the question that the person had posed was like, something about your man losing your job or helping a man apply for a job. See, this is the ride or die chick mentality. Oh, yes, I would help him apply for a job. I would do his resume. I would fill out his job application. I would do this, that, and the third. That sounds great, right? But see, a man needs to be a man because at the end of the day, when I got my job, I'm the only one who did all that for myself. So I said, if I could do that for myself, I expect you as a man to be able to do that on your own. So then the guy responded, he was like, well, my woman knows that, I'm the type of person to hold her down even though I don't have a job. I'm like, okay, but losing one job is one thing. Like how long have you been out of a job? He was like, well, yeah, I get fired a lot. I lose a lot of jobs. And so your home must be a revolving door because you just have men going in and out of your house whenever they fall on hard times. But see, that's the trickery. Because ultimately, no man's living up in my house ever again unless A, I'm married to them, and unless they're contributing to the household. B, his whole thing was like, when I asked him, what are you bringing to the table to your woman? Oh, well, I'm there for her. Okay, but your presence is not enough. And see, that's the man-child's mentality because they might dick you down and give you a kiss and smile in your face and give you some attention. They feel like that's enough. Just like with a little baby, they coo and kai and you're like, oh, that's so cute. That's enough. That's not enough for a man. But see, that's the mentality that the man-child has. And then they have somehow tricked the woman into thinking that this is enough to sustain a relationship. When in all actuality, emotional support, being there for somebody, all of that is the norm. That's not you going above and beyond. So the man-child has two different things happening in his head. It's the conflict between I want to be a man or I want the manly benefits, but then I don't want the hard man benefits. And so in that way, I want to be a child. So for example, the manly benefits would be like, I expect to have sex with you. I expect you to always look good for me. I expect you to do everything around the house. I want you to go to work all day, then come home and clean up the house, even though they had been sitting there doing nothing. I want you to look your very best. I want you to take me out on dates. I want you to always encourage me, be there for me. I want to blame you for my problems. And anytime you don't give me that, then I'm mad. And the psychology behind it is they actually see that that's a good thing because they don't have to do anything hard or difficult or grow or stretch in order to get what they want, which is, sex, a livelihood, money, a place to live. And so a man-child might even meet you and immediately move into your place. You might meet a man child and they might be living with their mom. Or you might meet a man child and they might be living with their another woman on the prowl to trying to find another woman because, oh, now she's requiring something out of me. I don't need to be with her anymore. But instead of getting a job and moving out on my own, I'm just going to find another mommy that I can transfer to. Big way that women go wrong is they have actually bought into the philosophy that having any man, even a man child, is a good thing. So if a woman meets a man child and there is another woman in the picture, they will actually fight and outgive to the man in order to prove themselves worthy of being with him. And all the while, all he has to do is sit here like a baby and watch woman A and woman B fight for his affection when he's not giving anything much. And see, that's what women have to understand, because women look at what is their potential, or they romanticize things in their head and they don't actually look at what is. And so they might see the man child and be like, oh, you know, I can get with him. I can upgrade him. I can help him get a job. I can hold him down until he gets a job. I can pay for him to go to school. And it's like you have now taken on the full responsibility for re-raising him when that should have been already done by whoever had custody of him. You have now tricked yourself into thinking that you can make him be a man, or helping him become a man, or thinking that your support will change him into becoming the type of man that you idolize that he can be in your head. Because a lot of women, y'all fall in love with not the actual man, but the man that he could be if only X, Y, Z, D, F, P, A, each A, I. That's why these man children are becoming more and more and more and more and more and more prevalent, because they see the other man children get in their way and they're like, oh, women actually do that? Okay, well, let me become a man child too. And so I remember I was dating a guy like way back when, like this was so long, and he was like such a nice guy. Then he was talking to his little man children friends. And then it went to, oh, I went on a date. I forgot my wallet. I want you to do this for me. My people said I need to put more demands on you. I ain't never seen his behind since. Ain't nobody got time for that. But see, that's where it's like, you know, a lot of these men children, they have these women bending over backwards for them. And it's like the good men are getting the short end of the stick, because a lot of y'all women want somebody y'all can fix or raise or make into a man, when really that's not even your place. And so some of the good men are even like, okay, well, it's easier to become a man child because I don't have to do anything and I still get the vagina and the privileges of a man in the process. This is pretty easy. And so the last thing I'm going to go into is, you know, what we need to do about it, or what you need to do about it, because you can only control yourself. So I want to go back to my ex when I was with my man child. He had been going to his mother's house, and she did not like me, but she liked the ex-girlfriend. So she had been bringing the ex-girlfriend over to her house so that my ex, or my boyfriend at the time, could see her and be back with her. But see, that's kind of the thing with the mothers, and how it's like, okay, but you're actually enabling this behavior and you're not teaching your son to man up. He went back to her, and then ultimately, because he and I had been together for years at that point, I think she had grew up some, and she was like, you're a man child. And she broke up with him. And ultimately, to make the long story short, he did actually get his life together. He has a great job now. He owns his own home and all this, that, and the third. But my point here is that, guess what? I was not the catalyst for that change, nor was a woman, nor was anybody. He was. The only way that we could get him to be a man is to stop allowing him to be a child. Secondly, we need to stop making excuses and stop saying that the bare minimum or the mediocrity that they give us is okay just because they are a man. Some of us are so freaking single and so freaking desperate that we're willing to kind of take everything. You need to make it up in your mind that you would rather be single and be happy than be with somebody so you can say a man is there, because what is he offering you really? The fact that he gives you a conversation? I mean, I don't know. You can have that with Alexa or Siri on your phone. It's not really that special. And the last thing is, women, we need to stop coming against each other and stop blaming each other and put the blame on where it belongs, and that is the man. you know, like I said, men have mastered the art of having us fight for them, and they're not giving anything much, getting all of his needs met, while the women are competing with one another, getting none of their needs met. If you are a single mom like myself, if you are a mother, then I feel like if you have a son, then you can do your little part in the side of the world, because I always say the woman who is going to grow up and marry my son is going to be a lucky somebody. She going to thank me for raising an actual man. All right, guys, so that is about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would love to hear your experiences on the man child. Have you had one? Are you with one now? Do you want to leave one? Are you wondering what you can do about it? I want to hear it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys another day, another time. Bye-bye, y'all.